And now, here's what I'm going to do. Swing with everything. Firebender Ascension will get the 4. Yes, now I can copy. Mobilize again. More sharpshooter triggers. Copy. Arabella will trigger twice. More sharpshooter. More sharpshooter. Okay, great. Ooh, I was worried about that one there. Good afternoon or evening, depending on your time zone, and welcome to Deck Tech Daily. If you're new to Magic the Gathering Arena or need a little bit of guidance, then this is the channel for you. Today we are looking at a deck I call Boros Tokens Avatar in the standard format best of 1. It's called Boros Tokens Avatar because it utilizes a pre-existing Boros Tokens deck and further improves upon it by adding new cards from the Avatar, the Last Airbender set, which just came out on November 18th. What are these improvements? Let's take a closer look at the deck and see how it works. So the first major improvement to this deck is the addition of the Firebender Ascension enchantment. Whenever this enchantment enters, it creates a 2/2 red soldier creature token with Firebending 1. Firebending 1 of course means that when it attacks, it adds 1 red mana just during the duration of the combat step. But what really makes this enchantment great is its second ability of whenever a creature you control attacking causes a triggered ability of that creature to trigger, put a quest counter on this enchantment. Then if it has at least 4 quest counters, you may copy that ability and choose a new target for the copy. In simplest, lamest terms, it just means double the amount of times you activate it, so it activates twice instead of once. And the ability that you want to trigger is typically the Mobilize mechanic introduced in the Takir Dragonstorm set. That's how the Boros Tokens decks work. Mobilize 1 is the Stadium Headliner. Whenever this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So if you have the Firebender Ascension with 4 or more counters on it, then when you attack with a Stadium Headliner, Mobilize 1 will activate twice, so you'll get 2 warrior tokens attacking instead of just 1. Other cards with Mobilize is the Voice of Victory that has Mobilize 2, so it would create 4 instead of just 1, which is pretty amazing. And what really makes Voice of Victory great is your opponent can't cast spells during your turn, so you don't have to worry about like counter spells if you have it in play, and you don't have to worry about your opponent playing removal when you're trying to attack. So this card is really amazing. And it's not just the Mobilize mechanic cards. Any triggered ability that happens when the creature attacks. Hired Claw is a popular one in mono red aggro decks. When you attack with it, it deals 1 damage to your opponent. So basically it would do 2 damage instead. Arabella is probably the star of the Boros Tokens decks because whenever Arabella attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. So when you have the Mobilize mechanic going off and it's creating all these tokens, you're going to have a bunch of creatures on the field and attacking. It's going to do direct damage to your opponent, and you're going to gain that much life. So that's pretty amazing. Another improvement to this deck is the addition of Suki, Courageous Rescuer. Other creatures you control get +1/+0, and whenever another permanent you control leaves the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. So because the Mobilize mechanic, remember those tokens have to leave your side of the field during the end phase. So this ability is guaranteed to activate once that happens. Only 3 of them in this deck because remember it is a legendary creature, so you can't have multiple versions of her in play at the same time. Another way to double the activated abilities is with Delny. Very similar to the Firebender Ascension. If an ability of a creature you control with power 2 less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Other ways I've tried to improve on this deck is the addition of Redirect Lightning. As an additional cost to cast this spell, pay 5 life or pay 2. I always just pay the 5 life because I want to save my mana. Change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. So whenever your opponent tries to play removal or something, assuming they have another creature on field, then I'll just redirect it to one of their creatures instead. So this has 23 lands to be specific. Let's see how this deck goes. Boros Tokens Avatar, standard format, best of 1, match number 1. Opponent gets to go first, of course, typical. So, Hired Claw, Voice of Victory, Delny's my 3-drop, and I have a removal. I guess I shall keep. It's a pretty decent opening hand, I would say. So, begin off with the Vantage and Hired Claw. And then 2 Voice of Victory. So even if he removes it, like, that's okay. I'll have a backup plan. Okay, so he's begin off with Surus. When it enters, create a 2/1 green spider token. Okay. So I'm going to pay the 2 life so this can enter untapped. And yes, definitely have a Voice of Victory. Should I... Yeah, I guess I'll attack and get rid of the spider. And at least do 1 damage. That's fine. I have plenty of backup in my hand for creatures. So this is a blue, white, and green deck. Okay. All typical Sheltered by Ghosts. I mean, I do have removal. I can... I wish I had this card, the Redirect Lightning. I wonder how that would work. Could I target his own creature? Now I'm curious. I wish I was able to do that, but I'll have to try that out in a different match in the future. Okay, so... what are my options now? Okay, I guess I'll play the Vampire. So this will trigger, and I'll have a bat to help defend me as well. The Sarima, so he's going to search his deck for a legendary creature. Maybe it's Coma, I'm going to guess? Yeah, there's green in this deck, so... maybe it's like a... yeah, that's the card. Kona. See, now he has 4 mana and that card, but does he have any planet land? Oh yeah, he can station it by tapping it with a Sarima. But are any of these 3 cards... maybe it's Omniscience? Starting Town has to enter tapped, unfortunately. So, if I had 4 mana, I could save the Witchstalker Frenzy and easily remove his Kona the moment he plays it. But unfortunately, that's not an option. Okay, so I think... should I save the Redirect Lightning? Change the target of target spell or ability to a single target. You may put a permanent card from your hand. Yeah, it's not targeting a card in his hand. I'm debating if I should save this. So yeah, I think I'm going to save it just in case. I'm going to play a Voice of Victory. Attack with these 2. And see if maybe I can use the Redirect Lightning to save myself from whatever Kona plays. Yeah. So what's in his hand, though? He's going to station it. He stationed both of them, okay. Look at the top 5. You may put a creature card of mana 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Aang at the crossroads. Okay. So that entered, but he didn't have enough mana to add to the Wang Shitong, the librarian, so it just enters as a 1/1. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna play Delny. Okay. I do have the Witchstalker Frenzy as removal. Should I remove Kona or the Aang? So let me go ahead and swing and just see what he blocks. It does have Indestructible, unfortunately. Because, yeah, the Sarima has other legendary creatures you control have Indestructible. Or I could remove the Surus. The thing is, I know... Decisions. Yeah, I might have no choice but to use the Witchstalker Frenzy on the Sarima. That'll destroy that at least. And we'll have to transform, but... So it's, what, lands you control have Vigilance, and it lets you Earthbend too? Okay. I'm not too worried about that. So he can only block with this one. He's blocking the Voice of Victory. Okay. And there you go. Ooh, that was a close one. Boros Tokens Avatar, standard format, best of 1, match number 2. So we get to go first this time. Firebender Ascension, a bunch of 1-drops, and a removal. Okay, I shall keep. I'll have to begin off with the Sacred Foundry and pay the 2 life, but that's fine. I guess, yeah, Hired Claw. Then, next turn, I could play either the Firebender Ascension or 2 creatures. Okay. So this is definitely a landfall type of deck. I need to save the Witchstalker Frenzies, so whenever he plays either Tifa or the Hydra, I'm almost certain that those 2 cards have to be in his deck. Okay, so... Okay, so I'm going to play these 2 creatures first, so that way... Actually, let me think. Because I figure they can't attack the same turn I play them. So I'll have to wait 1 turn regardless, but then next turn I can play the Firebender Ascension. But I need 4 counters. I'll only have 3 creatures on the field attacking. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get a bunch of them on the field. And attack with 1. He's probably not going to block because he's going to want to buff his Chocobo with the landfall triggers, I'm guessing. And plus I want to savor out my removal for either the Hydra or Tifa. The Chocobo typically isn't too much of a threat because it only gains just 1 counter whenever a land enters. And it doesn't have trample or anything, so I'm not too worried about it. That's just a basic land. That's fine. Even if he attacks with it, I can still... Yeah, okay, so... I wish I had a 3rd land, but unfortunately I do not. Okay, so I'm definitely playing the Firebender Ascension. I'll at least get a 2-2 with Firebending. And... the issue is if I attack with the Headliner, he definitely can block it and kill it. But he can't kill the Hired Claw, so I'm just going to attack with those 2 for now. So I'll at least get 2 counters on the Firebender Ascension. And then next turn, when I attack, I can attack with everything, and I'm guaranteed to get the 4 counters, and then their abilities will all double. Plus I'll have the Soldier with the Firebending 1, so I can get that extra red mana for either removal or the Redirect Lightning. Depends. Hopefully I'll get 1 more land so I can play Delny. So then with a combination of the Firebender Ascension and Delny, that'll triple the activated ability of each one. That'll be... I'd like to see that happen, so hopefully I get a land. We'll see. And then I'll have so many attacking creatures, I'll easily be able to play the Witchstalker Frenzy for the just 1 Firebender. Well, no, because the Firebending will trigger... when I attack, and it'll double, and assuming I have Delny on the field, that'll triple the Firebending 1, so I'll have 3 mana. Okay. So everything seems to be according to plan. Assuming this isn't some kind of unique type of deck that I haven't seen before, but so far I've seen everything. Just Chocobos at the moment. I'm assuming our opponent is trying to think... Or maybe they're just intentionally... Oh, he did nothing. Did he intentionally stall out? No land, unfortunately. Typical. Okay, well, no worries. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to... Yeah, our opponent's not doing anything. He's stalling, or maybe he didn't have another land, so he couldn't play his Hydra. I don't know. Yeah, that is the bad thing about this game, that it does have a lot of people that tend to go AFK, away from the keyboard, as soon as it seems like they're about to lose. Which is unfortunate, but whatever. Okay, so he has no timeouts, so assuming that this goes down, he does nothing, then he'll just automatically forfeit. But I really wanted to see that, like... Oh well. Okay, so... 3, 2, 1... Okay, so attack with everything. The firebender Ascension will trigger. Yes, copy that ability, take action. Copy, yes. So I can copy everything now. Yes. And yeah, I think I'll put one of the counters on the Hired Claw. And yeah, I guess I'll do the same for this one too. Okay. I thought they would have just... Why didn't that happen? They had 0 timeouts. Okay. You know, I thought of an excellent idea for a video. Every time I'm playing against someone and they just decide to go AFK in the middle of the match when it seems like they're about to lose, I'm going to write their name down. I'm just going to make a list of every player that did that and just publicly shame them with video footage of them doing it. And just blast it everywhere on social media as often as I can. Because, like, this has to stop. Like, it gets really annoying. They can't just hit the concede button. Because I don't know who this guy is in real life. I don't see his face or nothing, so there's no shame in it. Like, there's no embarrassment. I literally have no idea who Zen Dude is. So, what's the big deal? Just concede. You're wasting everyone's time when you do this. Boros Tokens Avatar, standard format, best of 1, match number 3. So we get to go first. The headliner. Interesting. I will have the redirect lightning. I have no 2-drops, so I'm thinking of what I can do on my turn 2, assuming I don't draw Voice of Victory or something. I will go first, though. And so I'll keep my hand and begin off with the headliner. And then see what we're playing against. I'm going to assume... Well, no, I was going to guess a mono-red aggro because he's got the red chocobo, but plains. Well, maybe it's a Boros deck. We shall see. So... yeah, no 2-drops, so I guess I'll... Well, I guess I can just have this enter and have it enter tapped so I don't have to pay the 2 life. Mobilize. And I'll still have my 1 mana for the redirect lightning just in case. Depends on what he plays. We'll see. Okay, so it's a white deck, and he hasn't played nothing, so there's a good chance he has field wipes. Okay. So now I'm debating if I should throw my other creatures out there. There is the split up, which is only 3, but you have to choose either tapped or untapped creatures. Okay, so I guess I'll do Suki. I don't think he has counters, because all the counters, as far as I know, are some blue mana is needed to play them. There is removal, though. Okay. No worries, at least I'll get the 2 map tokens. So even if I did have a mana to use the redirect lightning, Like, he had no enchantments or creatures that I could have removed anyways. Okay, so this is... He's just trying to build mana. Okay, so let's see. Voice of Victory. I know he's got instant removals like Get Lost. So if I play this, I don't have to worry about him doing that, obviously. Let me think. Let me go ahead and use a map token on this. Another redirect lightning. I don't think I need that since I already have one in hand. So let me just get rid of that. Yeah, let me go ahead and pay the 2 life. I'm going to play Voice of Victory. Just to see if I can bait him out of another removal. Debating if I should save this or not, or just keep my redirect lightning mana. So I guess I'll attack. Why hasn't he... Well, Demolition Field. Okay, so... Yeah, go ahead and in turn, I'll keep the 1 red mana just in case. Fountain Port. He might have Day of Judgment. Which is the field wipe I'm thinking of. Because so far he hasn't really played anything other than the Get Lost removal. Okay, so I... change the target of target spell or ability. I could theoretically switch the target to the headliner instead. But should I waste it on... Because the Stadium Headliner does have the counter on it. This is a tough one. Yeah, I guess I'll let it resolve. Okay, so... Defender, UF hexproof. Okay. So let me go ahead and play Delny. Just in case he plays another removal, I'll save the redirect lightning. So that way I can remove his barricade instead. It has 0 attack, so I don't have to worry about him killing if he blocks. Yeah, let me save the mana. And hopefully, with any luck, he'll play like another card like Get Lost or something. And I can redirect it to his barricade. Caretaker's Talent. Okay, so that just creates a token. For... Okay. So I guess I'll do Suki. I could actually remove it with a Witchstalker Frenzy. So let me see. Yeah, I guess let me keep my 1 red mana just in case. So yeah, Suki will trigger because the token from the Stadium Headliner is removed. So I have an ally. Okay. No worries. Okay, so... the Sharpshooter... I don't really see a lot of people use this card. The Barricade, you have Hexproof, prevent all non-cat. Okay, interesting. So the Firebender Ascension. So the token will enter. It'll do 1 damage to him. So I guess I'll swing for just 1, even if he uses the Fountain Port to create a fish. It's just a 1/1, so it's not going to kill the... He will get to draw a card, though, because of the Caretaker's talent. That's fine. Exile all creatures and spacecraft. Okay. Well, this is a tough one now, because now he has Authority of the Consuls out. Okay, so this is just becoming like a boring match at the moment. Exile all graveyards. Okay, like that. My deck has nothing to do with the graveyard, so I don't really care about that. Okay, why is this happening? I'm drawing the most... These are the only, like, removal cards in this deck, and I have nothing but removal cards against a person that doesn't play any creatures. You see why I think Arena is somewhat rigged when it does this? This literally never happens unless I'm going against a person that plays a deck that doesn't use creatures, which is very rare. What are the odds? Same thing with the redraw. My whole hand... Keep in mind, I only have... Oh, okay, enough of the ranting. So I'm just going to go ahead and concede because Wizards of the Coast decided to rig this match against me. Boros Tokens Avatar, standard format, best of 1, match number 4. We get to go first. The Sharpshooter, Voice of Victory, Suki, the Vampire. I guess I shall keep. I wish I had the Stadium Headliner or the Hired Claw in hand, but that's okay. So, blue and green. Maybe a Simic aggro type of deck? Debating if I should do the Voice of Victory or... Let me do the Sharpshooter. Just because I'm going to be playing creatures every turn from now on, so that way I'm at least guaranteed to do 1 damage to my opponent every time I play them. Okay, so... Black, green... This has to be a Reanimator type of deck. So... Okay, I drew the Headliner, so I'm going to pay the 2 life. And... yeah, let me play the Voice of Victory and the Headliner. That'll do 1 damage from the Sharpshooter. This will trigger it again. It'll do 1 damage. So that way... Yeah, let me swing for 1. So that way next turn I can play Suki. And all the creatures will get +1 attack. And then when the Mobilize mechanic ends, I'll get another token. Okay, so that's my game plan. So I'm assuming, just based on what he's playing, that this is some type of Reanimator deck. Basically something that allows him to bring back creatures from his graveyard. So far, there's nothing useful in this graveyard. This is a removal that might be a little threatening, but at the moment, I'm not worried about it. So the oh, he quit. Never mind. Boros Tokens Avatar, standard format, best of 1, match number 5. We go first. Arabella. What? I almost forgot this was even in this deck. I haven't drawn it in like the past 5 games. Hired Claw, Suki. Okay, so I shall keep. I do have a 1-drop, so I guess let me... Starting town and play the Hired Claw. I also gotta say that The last match where my opponent conceded because they weren't getting the cards, I gotta respect that. See, that's how you're supposed to play this game. If you know you're not going to win, just go ahead and concede. I can respect that. So, I forget his name, but whoever that was, I'll go back later on. Much respect. I appreciate it. Okay, so... yeah, let me go ahead and get Arabella out. And I'll attack with the Hired Claw. Okay. So next turn, I might play Suki. So that way everything will get +1. He's probably going to remove it. Yeah. Oh well, it's fine. Okay. So... okay, so... I'm going to pay the 2 life for the Foundry to enter untapped. Play the Voice of Victory. And the Headliner. And attack with the Hired Claw. So that way next turn I can play Suki. Buff all of them by +1. And when the Mobilize ends, I'll get a token. Okay, so that's my game plan. So far it's red and black. So a Ragdos type of deck maybe? But yeah, as I was saying, like the last guy that, when he conceded, you see how, like, that's how you do it. It saves time if you're trying to rank up. Yeah, you just want to hurry up, concede, and move on to the next match, and hopefully you'll win and you'll regain your points from the previous loss. That's how you do it. When you log on to here and you just intentionally stall out, like what I think this guy might be doing, what does that accomplish? Like, is there nothing else better you can do in your life than to just log on and then just do nothing? See, look. Okay. So let me play this, and I'll play Suki. Attack with everything. Because I highly doubt that I'm just coincidentally going up against people that have connection issues to their internet. I doubt that's the case. Okay, so this guy's going to stall out too. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. This guy, Jaya Mira, whatever his name is, like at the end of this, after I'm done recording, I'm going to write all their names down and clip the screenshot. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a video where I just publicly shame these people and put their username out for everyone to see. That's what I'm going to do. This has to change. I'm starting a petition to make Wizards of the Coast address this issue in Arena. Change is coming. Okay, so yeah, Suki will trigger and I'll get the ally. Not that it's going to matter because I'm pretty sure my opponent just did the AFK thing again. Like, I guess I can appreciate that I'm going to get the guaranteed victory point, but I wish that was common in Mythic. When you're like in the top like 1,000 players in Mythic, I wish people would do that then. Because at least that way, when they just stall out and I'm given the guaranteed victory, it would push me to like the top player in all of Mythic. But unfortunately that doesn't happen. Oh well. So I guess I gotta wait for this timeout counter. So he was at 0 before the counter began. So as soon as this ticks down, he should lose. Because I've seen it where, like, for whatever reason, they don't automatically forfeit, even though they have 0 timeouts. I don't know why. Just Wizards of the Coast way of trying to antagonize me anymore. There you go. Boros Tokens Avatar, standard format, best of 1, match number 6. Okay, opponent gets to go first. Plenty of 1-drops, 2-drops, and a 3-drop. Okay. The only disadvantage is that our opponent gets to go first, of course. So I shall keep machine. Okay, so definitely begin off with the headliner. These decks are becoming more and more common because what's the name of the card again? The mole that allows you to add an additional green mana every time. Like, that card is very useful. Okay, so let me think. Should I begin off with the Sharpshooter or the Firebender Ascension? Or the Voice of Victory? Yeah, I might be overthinking this, but okay, so let me go ahead and yeah, Voice of Victory. I'm gonna swing with a headliner just because I'm gonna try and get rid of his paw patch. Oh, he didn't block, so I guess it didn't matter. I was almost expecting him to block with the paw patch, that's why I was overthinking it. But he just immediately ignored it. This card is what I was talking about, the Badger Mole Cub. So he won't have enough mana to play the Ouroboros yet, but so yeah, the paw patch is going to hit for 3. That's fine. Arabella. I'm actually going to do the Firebender Ascension and the Stadium Headliner. Then Arabella next turn. And then if I survive after that, I can attack with everything and I'll pretty much win. I'm trying to think this. I do need triggers on the Firebender Ascension. So yeah, I think I have no choice but to attack. So even if he plays the Ouroboros, whatever it's called, like, and he gets all the counters, I still, yeah, there it is. I still should survive. Because he can't attack with that this turn. He will get the counter on it because of the Innkeeper's talent. So that'll do 5. He's just attacking with the paw patch. Yeah, he wants to save blockers. That's the problem. Okay. Let me think. When this creature enters or dies, create a 1/1 black token with flying. How can I do this? Because this will give me 2 blockers. And I might be able to take a couple hits, but no more than that. Okay, so yeah, I think the only way I can win at this point if I play Arabella and the Hired Claw. And 3, 4. Yeah, I'm just not going to attack. And I'm going to see how many hits I can take and survive. And then next turn I can play the Sharpshooter and hopefully I'll get a couple mobilize mechanics to double. Oh, come on. Wait, do they all? Okay, I thought they all had trample for some reason. Oh, never mind. Okay. So I'm going to have to block with at least some. Arabella needs creatures, so I think I need to sacrifice the Hired Claw and block the Ouroboros. I don't think the firebending one I'm going to need, so I'm going to block the Badger Mole. And I need at least one other block. Okay, so I'll use the one Stadium Headliner to block the Pollinator. And the Paw Pouch is the only one that's going to hit. The Forest is tapped. Okay. So I should barely survive this. That's fine. He has nothing, no lands to tap, so no removal. Okay. He does have this that he can block with the Surak, but that's fine. So I'm going to play the Sharpshooter. And now, here's what I'm going to do. Swing with everything. Firebender Ascension will get the 4. Yes, now I can copy. Mobilize again. More Sharpshooter triggers. Copy. Arabella will trigger twice. More Sharpshooter. More Sharpshooter. Okay, great. Ooh, I was worried about that one there. Well, that's it for the demonstration of the Boros Tokens Avatar deck in the standard format best of 1. Overall, I definitely feel this deck is pretty amazing. It definitely has a lot of potential. There was a loss against that one deck where I had all of the Witchstalker Frenzies in hand against a deck that doesn't play any creatures. Honestly, I consider that a fluke, just maybe I was just really unlucky, but who knows. But anyways, yeah, this deck has so much potential with the Firebender Ascension. You see how easily that can trigger and double all of the Mobilize or abilities or Hired Claws ability, or Arabella especially. That was amazing. Suki's also a great addition. It boosts all your creatures by +1, and you're guaranteed an ally counter for an ally token, I should say, to help you block. The Delny is useful. This one, the Evangelist, when this creature enters or dies, create a bat. It's useful, good for blocking. It's to get extra creatures as well, but I might swap this out. Another card I was considering putting in this deck is the Pack Beasts. I forget if I mentioned it earlier, but it has Mobilize 3. So if you could somehow attack with that, and you have the triggered ability of the Firebender Ascension or Delny, that's Mobilize 6. That is amazing. I almost think I should just swap out like maybe at least one of the Evangelists and put that in here just to see if I can get it triggered. If you have any ways that you feel this deck can be improved, feel free to leave it in the comments. I thank you very much for tuning in and hope you have a good day.